welcome back, my friends. I am Brian, and you are Chords and Notes Nation. Thank you so much for joining me, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this. This is a patron request for my most excellent patron, Phil. He wanted me to do a year-end sort of reaction. I guess it's sort of a year-end reaction. I don't know. But before the end of the year, he wanted me to do a reaction to the song Salisbury by Uriah Heep. Uriah Heep is a band that I am well aware of. I've listened to some of their stuff, probably not enough. I don't know if I've heard this song before. This is the 2016 remaster, and I don't know. Let me see here. So, okay, Salisbury is the second studio album by English rock band Uriah Heep, released in January of 1971. It would appear that this is, yep, this is the title track from that album. 16 minutes long. All right, so let's get into it, and I will let you know what I think afterwards.
If I form my LLC by 2030, I'll be so proud of myself.
sweeter now, your breath is getting warm. We must take our time, last it through till dawn. I wonder, will it be all I expect it to? There have been other girls, no one else like you. I feel a power here I never felt before, and I begin to see what drives us to want more. Oh, girl of all my dreams, please tell me if I'm wrong, because I do believe that we
Typically, I don't do this, but first of all, there's totally that Uriah Heep signature sound with the vocals and the organs. This is a much more epic and theatrical than I've ever heard them play, so I've not heard this song before. And it's actually quite intriguing. It's got enough momentum musically to keep me interested. So I'm liking it so far.
Imagine choosing from 100 plus meals a week that are healthy and also delicious. Let's be real, Factor's menu is way healthier than the competition.
something drawing me to where I do not know. I never really thought that I would lose myself. Now I'm going faster than anybody else. You move without a sound and touch me with your hand, just like the waves that fondle every little grain of sand. And this thing we're gonna do is just for you and me, and I'm gonna make it good. Just to wait and see.
Well, he's determined to get her back, isn't he? Huh. Very interesting choice, Phil. Yeah, that's I'm gonna go back to the lyrics here now. So I mean this is probably the longest love song I've ever listened to. I was losing some interest. What I was looking at was I was using my phone to research the lyrics and a little bit about the song if I could. I didn't find much, but it was just a quick peek. I did not a deep dive. Uh what can I say? I mean, musically, it was it was more than I had expected. Um, there was enough to keep me interested, but it was too long. It started losing my interest because there wasn't enough guitar, especially in the beginning. I was holding on. I gotta have that guitar. Now at the end, yeah, Mick Box was, he was being Mick, and those guitar solos were really, I liked them. They were aggressive. They cut right into it. Um, so that was very cool. I'm glad that those were there. This whole thing would have tanked if the guitars weren't there. I think the composition, it surprised me because I didn't expect this from Uriah Heep. Like I said, I haven't listened to an extensive amount of their music, just some. Demons and Wizards, that album, just, you know, it's so cool. I forgot what the other one was. I think when I was a kid, I only got like two of their albums. And I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that their sound was very dated for me. I didn't. It was good. It was interesting. It was intriguing, but not enough to draw me into getting addicted into the band and just listening to everything they make. Not the way that Jethro Tull, not the way that Led Zeppelin, Rush, Savatage. There was just some sort of connection with those bands at that time. That was about the same time I was sort of discovering Uriah Heep, but they didn't have that same allure, that same attraction. There was something there that was missing, and I think that was steeped in the dated sound. Uh, that's kind of why I never went into a deep dive with ES, even though I have like a handful of their albums. It's either a hit or miss. You know, you can't. Again, we talk about music being a subjective listening experience. Um, Sometimes it's going to work and sometimes it's not, and sometimes it takes time. You know, a few listens or a few years or a couple decades down the road, and then all of a sudden you listen to it at the right time, and it just bam, it hits you. There has to be some sort of metaphysical doorway into making that connection, and oftentimes it's a state of mind. It's the era that you hear it in of your life, whatever the case may be. That's usually how it works for you. Now, as far as the actual song here, I think compositionally it was. I mean, man, that was intense. That was long. It was good. It surprised me that they had a lot of those the orchestration in there. Bassoon, clarinet. I heard obviously the other stringed instruments as well. Sort of a big cacophonous um, approach to this uh, song. Drawn out 1971. I want to say that's the same year Jethro Tull was doing. Oh, was it Thick as a Brick? Or uh, let's see. Ba-da-dum, ba-dee. Aqualung. Aqualung was 71. Thick as a Brick was 72. Passion Play was 73. I was thinking more along the lines of Passion Play. But it was in that era when these British bands were making more of these larger theatrical orchestral arrangements. It was sort of a thing going on at that time, and that falls into the realm of progressive music. Um, and Genesis, what did they do in 71? I'm not going to look it up, but yeah. So it was sort of keeping up with the Joneses, you know, uh, and and so I got that out of this composition. I was like, yeah, this just kind of seems to be like what they're doing at that time, and it's cool because they know music and they know how to what to do. They've got they use those dissonant chords to build up tension, slowing it down, speeding up, all of these different things that you can do to create this soundscape that should hopefully keep the listener interested. Um, and here it really is just this epic. Uh, to me, I'm reading the lyrics, and I don't know if there's a double meaning to it at all. Um, but it just seems like it's a love poem, it's a love story, it's a love song. He's singing about this woman, and you move without a sound. Okay, somewhere in your eyes. So where he first meets her, and it's the glow in the eyes drawing him near, and then her movement without a sound. You touch with your hand, like the rain that fondles every grain of sand. I don't know if I would have used the word fondle. Just saying. Uh, and then the kiss is sweeter now. Breath is getting warm, wanting it to last till dawn. There have been other girls, but no one else like you. Feel a power here I never felt before. Time passed and all too fast. I knew we couldn't last. So all of a sudden, boom, it's done. It's this buildup. It's this, and I think musically at the beginning, it really does sort of reflect that feeling that you have when you first are taken by someone and you get the butterfly feeling and that excitement and that joy and just that sort of obsession that you want to be around them, and then of course the chemistry, the chemical reactions, um, that just tingle every part of you, who you are inside and out. um, and then you kind of settle into that honeymoon period, and then all of a sudden something, it doesn't work out. And as time passed and all too fast, I just knew we couldn't last. Well, that was not a very positive thing to manifest in your relationship, dude. Uh, and I guess at the end we tried our love inside. It crumpled up and died. What went wrong, I will never understand. And there are all too many times is that mystery of why things just sort of dissolve and crumble. There's a line in a rhyme. I was going to send to you. It says, all that is to be will surely be. So, oh, though you had to go because you needed someone new, is there still a chance that you'll come back to me? I want you back, you see. So he wants to bring her back. He wants to feel that initial chemistry once again. I mean, yeah, the music was pretty reflective of that that state of mind, that emotional tempest that often happens for good or bad within a relationship. So I it was fitting. I think another thing that kind of never really stuck with me with Uriah Heep were the lyrics. Um, it just didn't feel poetic enough. It was too plain, if that makes sense. Even here, where they're trying some sort of connection here, uh, eyes and special glow and fondling sand. I don't know. That one's gonna. Let's go fondle some sand. I don't know. What the hell was that? So, and that's the quirkiness. I think that's the word I want. Is Uriah Heep was always sort of quirky for me, but there's no doubting their musicianship and the fact that they were around as long as they were. Speaks to something, and the fact that they took Rush out on tour with them, which is really cool. So yeah, I don't know where I'm at with this one. It's still, after all these decades, I don't know where I'm at with Uriah Heep, but it is what it is. So, all right, Phil, thanks for bringing this one to me. I appreciate it. The rest of you, God bless you. Jesus loves you. I will talk to you in the next video.